It's Calling Kitty. It's Calling Kitty. Here's Kitty.
Oh, hiya. Oh, aren't you looking fabulous, everybody? You're smelling gorgeous. Oh, the vibes are absolutely immaculate. How are we doing? Hiya. It's me. It's Kitty. Kitty Cassis. Cassis like the dark, sweet, viscous, slightly sickly liqueur, only tolerable in very small doses. Hiya. Oh, welcome to another pinch of Calling Kitty. Just a smidge, all right? This is the audio podcast with a visual element. Calling Kitty is for the discerning listener or perhaps viewer. There are actually 14 of you listening to me at any one time regularly, and I'm trying to find the right point on my camera. My eyes are everywhere. I've got one eye going to the shop, the other coming back with the change as per usual, but I think I've got you there. So hiya, how are you doing? Are you all right? We're back. It's Calling Kitty, as you know, and if you're watching this, I'm looking absolutely scrumptious today, if I do say so myself. And I've just gone for a casual look. I've just got my leopard print on. And you do join me today. I'm in the salon, so I've got a couple of the ladies under the dryer. And we're quite quiet today. A few of them have come in. They can't afford to put the heating on at home, so I just put them under my dryer for about 3 or 4 hours, and they love it. All right, I've got Marion over there. That's Marion there. We've got Edna, and then we've got a couple. They just gossip at the back there and have their tea. They love it. And you know, if you're struggling as well with cost of living crisis, treasures, come down to my salon. All right, we can put you under the dryer. It's not a problem. All right, I get all sorts of benefits, and I've got a few local private investors as well, so they cover all of my utility bills. Not a problem. All right. So this podcast is today. It's for that discerning consumer out there who has already done all of their Christmas shopping by September/October. Is that you, treasure? Is it you? Are you so super organized? Are you listening intently to friends and family and constantly collecting clues for what they might like for the gift? Did your Aunt Maureen happen to mention that she'd love one of those weighted blankets at a family barbecue in late summer? And what you've done is you've clocked that, you've already purchased it, wrapped it, labelled it, and it's done by the following week. Yeah? Is that you? Then you are welcome in this space, all right? I mean, I don't know about you, I store it all in the back bedroom wardrobe. Yeah, it's like Narnia back there. You daren't even open the handles because you just don't know what's about to fall out. Listen, you found your tribe. I actually had everything done and dusted by March this year. You know, 3 of my elderly clients have actually passed away since then. And there's 2 others that are kind of teetering. All right, Keith and Beryl. I might just give them their presents now because they probably won't make it, all right, to Christmas. And there is always that danger. All right, I've actually got Beryl some fantastic shoulder implants, which you can just actually... You glue them on. It is a surgical grade glue, but you just glue them, and I think she will love those, and it'll just kind of, you know, this winter of her life, she'll be there with defined shoulders, and that is my mission in life. Do you know what I mean, treasure? There's always a risk with getting your presents early, but I think it is worth taking, don't you think? Now, who's drinking? Are we drinking? Oh God. I'm on my Barocca with rum chaser, with a bit of Pepto-Bismol in there as well. And whatever you're drinking, I hope that you're well. Wherever this finds you, wherever this little pocket of audio joy, wherever it comes into your life, I hope that you're loving it. All right. You can join me on all my social media platforms. I am at Hiya It's Me Kitty, HIYAITSMEKITTY. And you can always get in touch with me if you go to my website, YAITSMEKITTY.com. HiyaIt'sMeKitty.com, all one word. And you just click on the box that says drop me a line, cock, and that comes straight into my pigeonhole. That all right, so you can give any of your feedback, maybe any dilemmas you've got, any problems you've got, just get in touch with me. If you want to book me, all right, I'm doing a lot of bar mitzvahs, all right, and a couple of divorce parties this season. I've also got a bingo night that I'm doing, which I'm looking forward to, and if you want to come and join us for that, get involved. I've not really done a bit at my Edinburgh debrief, have I? Now, in the summer, I was going around all of the sort of pop-up salons and masonry halls, Masonic halls. I was doing a bit of masonry when I was up there as well, to be honest with you. But it was great. And if you were up there performing, then I hope you're doing all right. Let's have a bit of a check-in, shall we? Because what it does is it takes any enthusiasm and any lust for life that you have, and it just kind of wrings it out like an old flannel, like an old sponge. It just kind of wrings that out, or it can go like that sometimes. I had a brilliant time, treasures. I mean, obviously my roots are Scottish, all right. I've got roots everywhere, like a great big bloody oak tree, me. But they took me into their bosom. They took me into their hearts. I set me little pop-up salon up there, and I had so many people coming through, and we did a lot of healing on that journey, okay, and lots of people whose lives will be forever changed, really, by spending some time with me. And my receptionist, Jade, I took her up there as well, and we just had loads of people literally passing through, because the venue that I was in was literally just in a corridor, basically, just like a thoroughfare through to toilets. But I took advantage of that, and I kind of waxed people on the way through, and then kind of injected them on the way out, whether they liked it or not. Basically, that was my mission in life, just to make sure that everybody was plumped, snatched, and ready to get back out onto the streets of Edinburgh. That's what I did, and I loved it, and they loved it too. So if you did go to Edinburgh, if you saw anything up there, if you were doing a show up there, get in touch. How are you feeling? Because sometimes you can question all of your life choices, all right, especially if you're hemorrhaging cash, and also hemorrhaging motivation as well. That can be difficult. You need to know how to get back on the horse, when to get back on the horse, or if indeed you get back on the horse at all. And mine is it's a scabby donkey. Can't even be classed as a stallion at this point. And the detritus of my trip is actually all around me in the salon today. I've got all my muslin strips, all my injectables there. I've got a load of bleach. I mean, I just bulk bought about 6 gallons of bleach and took it up there and just peroxided anybody that I could get my hands on. So it's unpacking mentally, emotionally, but also physically and spiritually as well. It's a great place to go if you want to, if you want to see a grown man masturbating in the streets at 11 a.m. in Leith. I mean, that there's a place for that up there. Do you know what I mean, treasures? So I hope that you're all right. I hope you're recovering if you've been up there, and if you're planning your trip up there next year, well, oh my God, get in touch. Let's chat. We could have a whole episode dedicated to that if you want to go up there next year, maybe to perform, or even just to witness the sights. Do you know what I mean? I'm not an expert, treasure, and that's my disclaimer every single week, isn't it? I'm not an expert on this or any other subject at all, but I do like to have a bit of a chinwag about stuff. Oh, there you go. Wet your whistle, tickle your pickle. That's all you need. Now, when I come back to my cul-de-sac here after the high of being up in Edinburgh and the high of the summer, and we settle into the autumn months now, whenever you're listening to this, you might be listening to it in a dystopian future in 2045, when there's just the remaining embers and ashes of the world. But I'm here in the northwest, and I'm absolutely gutted because one of my best friends, Linda Hinchcliffe, I mean, we've known each other since we were toddlers, all right? Her mother, Mary, was my mother's bingo partner back in the day, and she's recently moved to Barnsley, and I am bereft treasures, all right. And we did actually have somebody wrote in about friendships and how to keep your friendships going after all these years. Um, and this is one of my besties, all right. I know it's only an hour away, but it's not the same. She is my partner in crime, is Linda. All right, we've gone on some adventures together. We actually flew to Torremolinos in 1973. She packed 3 lamb hot pots and a rack of ribs in a suitcase, all right, just on a plate, secured with the flimsiest layer of Argos tin foil, all right. And back in the day, there you could just sail through customs with, a full catering tray if you wanted to. You didn't have to take your shoes or your belt off. Um, and I've got those good memories with her. Do you know what I mean? We actually set up a Tamagotchi support group in the early 90s. So this is a friendship that has lasted the test of time. It really has. And I'm going to miss her terribly. So I think she is one of the 17 people that do download this podcast regularly. I'm going to miss you, Linda. All right. And if you wanted to even get in touch and we could keep in touch via this podcast, that would be a nice thing to do, wouldn't it? That would be a bloody friendly thing to do, wouldn't it? Now you've gone off and left me. Linda is a very spirited woman, and this is a bit of a tribute to her. She takes no prisoners. All right. And they don't really make these women like this anymore. She was actually married to Les for 6 years. God rest his soul. But she found that he was shagging around. All right. And her response to that, which seemed very reasonable at the time, was to actually set him on fire. Now, I don't suggest that anyone else do this, but it really did get to the point, and it really did. It solved the problem, all right, in the short term, all right. But she was using Swarfega to get rid of that smell of burning for years after that. Linda, you are one of my faves, treasure, and I hope that we'll be going. I mean, we've got a trip to Benidorm booked. I'm doing bingo in Benidorm next year, and we've got that booked. And we will have to hatch a plan, and that's just a little takeaway for this episode. Get that date booked in the diary with your friends, all right? It may be that you've not spoken to friends for ages. Get in touch. Say to them, come on. Let's get a date, even if the date in that diary is to go to a harvester, have a buffet lunch, and maybe that is in 6 months' time. But that date will soon roll around, all right? Because you never know, all right? Life is short, okay? In some ways, it's tediously long, and I understand that. It's like wading through treacle sometimes. This bloody life, isn't it? But life is too short to not make those human connections, all right? So make the human connections, and it may be that you're sitting in your bed now thinking, bloody hell, Kitty, piss off, I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to talk to anybody, and that's fine too. That's just where you are at this moment in your life, treasure. And this is a way to connect as well. Connect with me. I'm up for connecting with anybody at this point, all right? But if you've got friends out there, you're thinking we really do need to do something and do a trip together, then do that. Put a little bit aside each week if you can, and do that thing, do that trip, make that phone call, make that arrangement, and go and bloody do it. All right. And if it's a disaster, don't come back to me saying, Kitty, it was your idea to do that. That's me, another disclaimer. I don't accept any responsibility for anybody's terrible friendship groups. Now, what I've been doing, I've been going through the YouTube channel. Now, you can watch this. Obviously, you might be listening to it. You might be watching it. I've been going through all the comments, all right? All 3 of them. It would be nice if you left a comment. Do a thumbs up on there for me, treasures. Now, Penfold UK 001. You know who you are. You listen every week. You have a little comment for me every week. I hope you're feeling well, treasure. Now, 001, I feel like it's like a sort of pound shop Bond, isn't it? I think that's who you are. My favourite type of Bond. Wouldn't want it any other way. And what you loved was the sloth semen face mask that I was doing. And I can send one of those out to you, treasure. All right, because this can become a bit of a 4D experience if you want it to, where you can actually have me serums and me potions, and I can send those off to you. If you'd like me to do that, give me a little thumbs up in the comments section. But you also did message about the disappointment of the new AMD's CPUs. Firstly, most of the world has ridiculous electricity costs compared to the USA. Secondly, AMD might be aiming for the large business desktop market, where lower power consumption will trump performance for most tasks. It could be that when they have more longer term data on Zen 5, they can take the brakes off a bit, with the power efficiency giving more headroom for thermals or power delivery. Yes, that is a direct quote from one of your comments, Penfold UK 001. Now, I didn't do a time check stamp, but it could be that maybe you were watching a different YouTube channel at that point, because unless AMD's is Anya, Maureen, and Dennis, I mean that's a throuple that I've set up, a bit like the Amish community. I set up these thruples around the county of Lancashire where I live. But I feel like AMD's CPUs is something else, and I don't know if we've got our wires a bit crossed. But it did give me it. It really did give me. It put me in mind of when me and Benny Hill actually set up a comms business. We set up a tech and comms business. I know a lot of people won't even believe me when I say that, but we did, and there were a lot of acronyms, and I think we did have more longer term data on Zen 5, so maybe we were onto something back then. Who knows? But Penfold UK 001, you always give me a little thumbs up, and you're always having a little comment, and for that I love you, treasure. All right, I hope you're well wherever you are, whatever you're doing. It's a shout out for you. That's how easy it is to get a shout out on this podcast. Just literally type anything, even if you copy him. It could be a work email that he's copy and pasted in there, couldn't it? But yeah, it sounds like you know what you're talking about, and that's the main thing. That's the other thing, treasures. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever you've got going on, whether it's a social thing that you're on your way to or a work presentation, fake it till you make it. Just sound like you know what you're talking about. Really, say it with conviction. Say it with your chesticles, all right? And 99% of people in that room will just think you do know what you're talking about and believe every word that you say. And really, that's how we found ourselves in this political mire and mess that we have at the moment, isn't it, globally? People just sounding like they know what they're talking about, and maybe they don't at all. That's another little nugget of wisdom for you. Now, as always, somebody can get in touch. They can get in touch however they want to. And there's a feeling that I've got actually within the intercostal muscles within my vertebrae that there is somebody trying to get in touch with me. Oh, did you hear that, listeners? Oh my God, who have we got? Let's have a look.
All right, Kitty, it's Adrian. I know you like me to update you with everything that's going on in the conspiracy theory world and all that, but it's not even conspiracy theory now, mate. It's conspiracy fact. The amount of data we've got, all the leaked documents, okay? Because at the end of the day, loads is going on, mate. I'm outside now, a fucking warehouse. They're calling it a warehouse. It's a laboratory, mate. The things they're doing in there, they're testing what's going on. I've a security guard coming over there. No, he's gone the other way. But listen, mate, there's all sorts going on here. Shippo was doing the night shift last night. He rang me. He said he saw people with wings, mate. Fucking wings. What's going on? I'll keep you updated now, because this No, I'm just parked there, mate. Fuck off.
Oh my God. So I feel like we're on actual ITN news, and we're actually getting a live update from the front lines, as it were. That was Adrian. And as he said, is it conspiracy theory or is it conspiracy fact? All right. It's worth asking those questions, isn't it? Now, if I'm thinking that this is the same Adrian, that it is like what he'll always do is send me a little missive from wherever he is. He's actually a security guard at a toiletry factory. And he did have a theory a while ago that they were actually putting data chips into bubble bath. And that's why if you do have a long soak, you can actually absorb quite a lot of the data. Again, that Zen 5 data, we come back to that, don't we? Penfold UK 001. All roads lead back to Zen 5. Listen, this could actually be some kind of Netflix special, couldn't it? That there are Easter eggs and clues all over the place if you just open your eyes and bloody look. Do you know what I mean, treasures? So it looks like Shippo, who is notoriously reliable with his sources, it looks like he saw somebody with actual wings. Now that does actually go. They do a very good Dr. White's dry weave top sheet with wings, and that's a sanitary towel product that they make at that factory. So I'm thinking whatever kind of hallucinogenics that Shippo and Adrian are on, it looks like the streams are being crossed there, aren't they? It may be that actually we could be being invaded via sanitary products. And this is something, I mean, we need to get dispatches onto this, don't we? We need to get some kind of investigative journalism. Not just me, I'm a lowly beautician in the Northwest in my salon, just minding my own business. But this is where these things start, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And we know things always tend to start here with me, with Kitty. It's kind of the origin story if you trace it back far enough. Thank you very much for getting in touch, Adrian. Keep your eyes and your ears open. Keep your ear to the ground and keep in touch with me. Keep me in the loop with what's going on. You left this voice note quite a long time ago, so it could be that, it could be that things have changed since then. And I know in Liverpool, obviously, there's a lot of history there. Do you know what I mean? With the ferries coming in and out, it is almost like a portal to another universe and another world. And you get really good shrooms there, actually. It is true, because one of my neighbours, Brian and Derek, they're actually a couple, and they get the best shiitake mushrooms. Now, a lot of people think that you can just cook with them. They're actually hallucinogens as well. So if you do want me to hook you up with that, get in touch. Get in touch with anything that you've got that you want to shout out. I think we've learned a lot here. Any questions, anyone? Pop them in the comments below. In the show notes, you'll find all the links to what I've been talking about. Now, I wouldn't be able to put the links to the shrooms on there because I think that would go crazy. We wouldn't be able to package them and get them out fast enough. But you might need to enter the next layer, which is behind a paywall. Get in touch with me about that. It's been lovely to reconnect with you, treasures. I've got so much coming up, so much to tell you about. I've got a few strings that I do need to tie up. I was doing my I'm actually the brand ambassador for some fantastic sex furniture for the sex industry, and that's coming on leaps and bounds. So I'm gonna have to update you on that. And so much else as well. All the gossip from since I've been away. Obviously, I've come back. People are dying to tell me everything, so I'm going to tell you, and that's how it works. Thank you so much for listening or watching Calling Kitty. From the bottom of my colonic to the tips of my acrylics. I'll see you next time, treasures. Cheers. Ta-ra!